You alright? Oh man, I'm not asked for an intro today. It's fucking... It's so hot. It's so hot, man. It's like 1,000 degrees out. Fucked it. Fucked it. It's like 1,000 degrees outside. I'm just melting. It's like that scene out of fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end when they open the Ark and everyone just melts. It's like that. That's me right now. I'm just a skull face, man. Oh, it's wrong. It's so wrong. Anyway, here we are. That's the Nilfgaardian garrison. I'm finally going to find out a bit about where the hell Yennefer's gone off to. That'll be nice, you know.
Password.
Oh, this guy's a right dick.
Don't know any. So, out for a little walk, you know? Counting the Emperor's swords to lull you to sleep? Well, in the army, we've a place for nosy ramblers. The scaffold.
Gotta got a place for dickheads right here.
Thick-skulled quartermasters. They got a place.
You're clearly
Oh.
skilled at banter
Oh!
and haggling.
Archbishop of Banterbury, mate.
That as
10
well.
out of 10.
Morale holding up around here? You boys think you can win this thing?
Ah, a spy after all. Or one to stir trouble.
Neither. Just curious.
Right. Well, tell anyone who cares we will win this war, because
He is mad.
is mad, as everyone knows, and we've an extraordinarily well-drilled.
We started seeing that at the end of The Witcher 2. Radovid started just... That boy's crazy. The boy is crazy. He... It's Witcher 2 spoilers, but that'll be happening a lot this playthrough, so... If you don't want to hear that, then... Check the fuck out. Radovid, at the... what was it called? It was like a meeting of sorcerers at Lochmuin, and at the end of it there was a big meeting between all the kings
Like you to craft
and
something
leaders of various realms. Radovid came in late to the meeting. No, he didn't. His soldiers came in unannounced and just started like wrecking shit up. Then a fucking dragon flew down. That started some shit. Everyone ran. Then Radovid's guys just started massacring people. And the whole thing just... It was a shit show. Let's not even go there. But Radovid, he's insane, man. He hates mages. He will just kill all of them. He tries to kill all of them. And... yeah, that's... it's not a good time. He's a dick. We don't like him. We don't really like any of the leaders, any of the kings. They're all dicks. They're all tremendous dicks. Which I'm sure we'll see. Oh yeah, so this is one of these blacksmiths I was talking about that can make the swords, serpentine silver sword. And he could also make like silver ingots out of silver ore and iron ingots out of iron ore and that kind of stuff. And he can repair your items, as you can see here. If you notice that little white dot in the top left of my boots icon, that was a slot for glyphs. And in, you can see it again there. If you can find rare items across the world, then occasionally they'll have slots for glyphs, and you can put effects. The glyphs have effects like increased damage from Igni, various other sign effects. They can also increase chances for bleeding, freezing, poisoning. They're good, so use them.
How much grain will your village give?
Whatever you say, Your Excellency.
Look at my hands. Look. See the calluses? These are not the hands of an excellency, but of a farmer. So we speak peasant to
Here's
peasant.
the Witcher 3 continuing the trend of games that have characters that look like Bronn from Game of Thrones.
More, sir, but our lads, Tomira-rse, that is, took from us earlier.
You will give 30, and that will do. Let us settle on it, and I wish to see the transport soon.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you kindly.
I summoned only the Elderman and the smith, Willis. But it is said he is a dwarf. You are too tall to be him.
Heard that before.
Very perceptive of you. Geralt of Rivia. Which
And silver-tongued fiend.
Edgar, this explains why I did not hear your footsteps. What do you seek here?
Jennifer Vandenberg. Where was she headed?
That is a military secret.
Haven't thrown me out yet. Haven't called the guards. So go ahead. What's your price?
There is
Yep.
a griffin in
Of
the
course there is.
Slay it.
God, I'm gonna sneeze.
Why
Ah,
do you
fucked
care
it.
about this
Excuse me. If that was really loud, then I apologise. Also, I apologise for the sounds of drilling.
Including a few of my
My opposite neighbour's terrible choice in music as well, if you can hear that.
garrison combed the
And
woods.
any other fucking noises that are through my open windows, but I am not closing these windows, so you know what?
No, too
If you
high a
care,
risk. I
screw you
cannot
guys, because
disperse my forces.
just know.
Tomira's army we have crushed, but
It's too hot.
common folk remain, ready to answer a call to arms. So, as to this
It's at the
griffin,
point where
I can sit on
even
my
if I turn
hands.
on a fan, it's just blowing hot air in my face and making me even more hot. So not even a fan is helpful.
It's a deal. Some questions before I start.
And I'm not rich, I don't have fucking aircon, so whatever.
It kept to the Vulpine Woods at first. I sent a patrol there, 5 young men. A hunter found them 2 days on. They only recognized them because they wore our plate. Since then, the griffin has grown bold. Attacks in villages, fields, on the main road.
Meaning it's abandoned its lair. Gonna have to set a trap.
But what could cause a griffin to abandon its lair?
This will not be easy. What do you require?
I'll need bait.
Something that makes The Witcher
Curb.
so different to other games in its genre is the fact that
Buck,
because Witchers are professional monster killers, they have lots of specific methods in killing monsters, and
Mastered the basics, though.
for every monster quest you get to kill,
no.
for every
First
monster quest you
came
get to
the
kill,
Diggers. Don't
for
play
every
with
monster quest you
fire,
get,
for example.
the way in which
Go
Geralt
to
will
Tomira,
carry out the quest
herbalist.
is very sort of
She lives near the
analytical.
crossroads. She
He
aid
will, before he just goes off and kills it, he will sort of gather information, find out where it is. Like you just said, it's sex, why it's abandoned its lair, stuff like that.
bring you witnesses.
He'll analyse
Won't say
before he
anything
goes
I
in and
don't
kills.
already know. I need
And
to
that
go where
is-
your men died. Look around.
It's cool, you know, it makes it feel a lot more
After you found them.
Mislav.
like
He has a
this
hut
is an actual
south
job,
of the village,
and it makes it feel a bit
very
more
near the wood.
believable.
Helpful fellow. A little strange.
But it's not boring. You'd expect the sort of analysing and the not killing part to be not
Thanks.
very enjoyable, but it is really fun. I find, at least, anyway. So there we go. That guy's a dick, and he's pretending not to be a dick, but we all know he's a dick because he's an Nilfgaardian. And if you've played the previous games and read the books, it's hard to like Nilfgaard. It is hard to like them. They're a nation that just wants to conquer. They started a war completely unprovoked. There were no tensions between Nilfgaard and the Northern Realms. They just wanted more land. So they started taking it. And all the Nilfgaardians we've seen, or the vast majority in the games at least, are dicks. With very few exceptions. That soldier was one of them. He seemed like a nice bloke. Not that we hate the soldiers. Soldiers are just pawns. They're just carrying out their duty. So we got no hate for soldiers, but you know, guys at the top, they're dicks, and that captain, he's a dick. I hope you like swampy marshland, because wow. Tell you what, the next area's got a bit of swampy marshland in it. It's not that bad, though. Good area, Felon. I enjoyed it. Atmosphere's really good. Really tense in lots of places. But we'll see that. So I'll shut up. Here's more of that green gas I was talking about earlier. Yeah. And that's what that green gas does. One shot's drownless. More strategically placed explosive stuff. But once again, quite believable in the well, I say once again, the fucking red barrels are fiery destruction aren't particularly believable. But... See, this is guarded treasure. Now, I've got to assume that what was guarding it was that tiny cloud of poison gas. And not a monster. Which I think is the only time in the whole game that happens. Where a guarded treasure isn't actually guarded by some sort of high-level monster. It might be because it's in the tutorial zone, but who knows. So that was weird. Making a potion there. You'll probably want to make every single potion you find a recipe for, because although I found myself using Swallow and another potion called Thunderbolt, which we'll be finding soon, that increases attack power. I only really found myself using those two, along with Cat, which lets you see better in the darkness, so it's used for caves and stuff. And one called Killer Whale, which increases swimming speed and lets you breathe longer underwater. I only use those four really regularly, with the first two being used a lot more than the second. But you'll want to... I imagine I'll be finding myself using a lot more of them in this playthrough, just because the difficulty will probably make them a necessity when fighting big monsters and stuff. But yeah, you'll want to... I suggest you want to make all of them anyway, just in case. You never know when you might need it. Same with bombs and other craftable stuff. So here we see not just a pack of wolves, which I think are all now dead, but a pack of bandits too. So fuck that. Gotta get those archers, man. Always take cover, if you can, because they can't shoot through things. Some kind. Don't call people whoresons. Wow. Well, dead now. Yeah, that's the annoying thing bandits do. They will sprint at you with their swords raised, like that guy just did. You can... Jesus Christ. You can either parry them when they're just about to get near you and swing, or you can dodge to the side or back, and they'll completely miss you. But that can be an annoying attack they do. Fucking wolves. So not many points of interest left in White Orchard now. If you think there's been a lot in these 5 episodes, then wait till the next maps, man. That shit gets intense. There's like 50 plus points of interest in the next map, and that's repeated for the one after that. Bear in mind that I have been saying there's like 4 big areas in this game. Area 2 and 3. One of them is a city within Area 2. So Area 3 is a city within Area 2. I won't say the names of them or anything. But there's not necessarily 4 big areas. There's 3 big areas. One of them has a city inside them that's really big. So that's what I mean. It's got 2 cities in them, but one's much bigger than the other. So. And you'll be spending a lot of time in that place. So I hope you like it, because I certainly fucking did. One of the best fantasy cities I've ever seen realised in a game. Loved it. I felt so... Like, if you ever sort of imagined what a like 12th century city would be like in a fantasy environment, it's pretty much... My imagination pretty much pictured exactly what is in this game. So if you're into that kind of shit, then you're in for a treat. Fucking ghouls and wolves! Piss off! Like, Jesus. Oh, it hurts me. Yeah, so as I was talking about earlier, the cutscene is pretty much the same every time you do one of these. But you get a nice... Well, you get some experience from it. Which is good. And the wolves are gone, so yay. Oh, these things, throughout the world there are grindstones, or anvils that you can use yourself to give yourself a, I think it's half hour, maybe 15-minute boost. And these boosts on the grindstone will increase weapon damage done for half an hour, and on the anvil will increase armor effectiveness for the next half hour, so it'll let you take more hits in combat basically. So I suggest whenever you see them to use them. I don't really like what happens when you use them though. It sort of just fades to black. You hear a sort of blade sharpening noise and it just fades to black and fades back in. It's a bit weird. I'm not sure what they were going for there. They probably just couldn't think of anything to show. And to be fair, thinking about it, it would be a lot more annoying. It would be unnecessarily annoying if every time you did that you had a little animation play of Geralt actually sharpening his weapon or beating out his armor on an anvil. So, you know, I can understand why they went for that. Just looking for the fucking door. But I'm at the back of a hut because I'm a genius. Oh yeah, so here we meet the herbalist called Tomira,
Not at all.
who
Hand me the beggar tickets. That
just
red bloom. Well,
is wearing some
there's
trousers.
herbs.
Let's just leave it there.
But I know a bit. For instance, that beggar tick's poisonous.
In large doses. Small ones soothe pain.
CD Projekt Red, man.
Pleasant dreams.
They're
That's
just,
all I can hope to do for her.
they love it, and they revel in the chance to just like
To her.
Delina.
make characters that just. Well, let's just okay. I'll leave it. I'll wait until
Night, through the woods.
this conversation's over. Then I'll explain.
Meeting a boy. A young, you know, do foolish things for love.
If you thought that goose was hot, then
Wounds are healing.
Damn.
Die. Blood's pooling in the skull. Nothing my bruise can do to help.
Could try to help her with one of my potions. Swallow can heal internal hemorrhages.
the fuck is that outside the door?
Witcher's potions aren't for humans.
She'll die as it is.
Yes, a peaceful death soothed by your concoctions. If I give her Swallow and something goes wrong, the whole village will hear her screams.
I understand.
So there we get to hear a bit about kind of how fucked up witch mutations are. Whenever you take a potion
Got a potion for
in
Lena.
the Witcher universe,
First
it
sign
kind of,
spring. Symbol of
let's just say,
rebirth.
if Geralt was human,
Fitting
it'd
this
probably
man's
kill him.
You'll see. Like I said, could harm her.
Like
Deeply.
it's
Works on me immediately, but I have a
it's horrible. The potions
appear in her case for a few
would just
days.
destroy him if it weren't for the witch mutations.
Why'd you choose this in the end?
Decided it was better than doing nothing.
I like you,
Oh, yeah.
Witcher. Here,
All
small gift.
arse jokes aside, Tomira is actually a
giving a damn.
really interesting character.
Looking for buckthorn. Know if it
And it's a
grows
shame there
around
wasn't more.
here.
Hmm.
There was a decent amount of interaction with her and conversation, but it's a shame there wasn't more, really, because she is.
In a week-old carcass.
I'd say she's definitely the most interesting character in
I'm hunting the griffin.
White Orchard, at least.
Need the buckthorn for bait.
I was thinking, a few years ago we had trouble, drowners under the bridge. The whole village had to pitch in for a witcher.
Pitch in for a
Now I'm gonna
witcher.
throw the bounty on a griffin's head.
Captain Peter Sars, something.
Ah, good to know the Black One's looking out for our welfare.
Nilfgaard values one thing: order. Griffin's disturbing that. It's gotta go.
Hashtag fuck
Yes.
Nilfgaard.
First they'll tend to the monsters, then to the folk.
Not
Yeah,
from
she
you,
knows her
from
shit.
you. A lot of bitterness in you. Too much for someone who spent her life in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
True. And you're in a hurry. Elsewise you'd not use bait, just wait for the griffin to attack again.
Believe we could have an interesting conversation.
Was that
Maybe next time.
suggestive? I think that was suggestive. Fucking Geralt, man.
Yes?
Tell me something about yourself.
Good. I'm glad they added this
What's
option
your story?
because it's interesting and it's got relevance to the books as well.
Do you know the Temple of Melita
We do.
in Alanda?
I'll talk about that in a minute when the conversation's
Can't
over.
remember how many times I've been there. How many times Mother Nenica stitched me up.
We must have missed each other. I started to become a healer under Mother Nenica. I was but 18 when they took me in. An age at which teaching is interest one far less than love. There was a boy, Goslav. He'd bear his chest to work. The novices couldn't keep
Hey man,
their eyes
it's
off him and
hot in
tripped over their own feet, dropped
Elender.
things. I left the temple for him. We passed a lovely summer together, and then he left. Neneke refused to take me back. My parents uttered not a word, gave me a travel cloak and a small coin pouch. I struggled long to find a place where I'd feel safe, needed, until I finally arrived here. End of story.
Don't admit I've heard sadder stories. Anyway, so the Temple of Melitele, fucking that's hard. Melitele, there we go. In Ellender is a place we hear about in The Last Wish, which is the collection of short stories. They're all related and they all fit together nicely, which is why they're a collection. I believe it was either the first book to come out. It's definitely first chronologically, or it was the third book to come out. But like I said, takes place before the rest of them. So Geralt, he has a lot of he has a friend in Mother Neneke, who is the sort of, I've forgotten her official title, but she's like the High Priestess of the Temple of Melitele. Just ignore me trying to fucking say Melitele, it's the worst. And whenever he was injured, sort of in the area, in the vicinity of Ellender, he would go to the temple, and she would patch him up, look after him. And they were good friends. We don't hear much about her after that in the other books, as far as I'm aware. Not in the translated ones. But yeah, he's been there, he knows Mother Neneke, and that was just a little callback to The Last Wish, which was nice. And as she said, we never heard of her before. That's the first time she's been introduced in the series. And back to that arse, her resting animation, so the animation she's in when we're not speaking to her, basically, is her just like fully bent over at a fucking herb table. Now, fine, well that's I'm not complaining, but badly worded. But CD Projekt Red, they love just like sexualization. They love just sexualizing everything. I don't have a problem with that per se. Like, that's fine. Do whatever you want, but like they just love it, and I just find it hilarious. Like, to have a character's resting animation just like arse right in your face as soon as you walk in. It's like right in line with the door. It's impossible to miss. I love it, man. It's hilarious. And make of it what you will. But they have, like I said, they have come a long way from collectible sex cards, so don't think anyone can complain too much. Must really kill a back though to just be bent over like that all day. Pardon? Yeah, that's a thing to be taken from this fight. That guy just screamed, "Warlock!" And there's like I was talking about with Radovid and the Massacre of Mages at Lochmuin. There is a lot of superstition and a lot of fear surrounding magic in the world of The Witcher. Sorceresses and sorcerers and all those who use magic are seen by a lot of people as kind of the opposite to non-humans. They're not subhuman. They're almost kind of superhuman because of their magical abilities, and they're feared and sort of hated occasionally because of that. And it's the fear that they completely have the power, if they wanted to just like destroy a whole city with magic. So a lot of sort of cult-like groups have formed to combat mages across the world. And that's one of the main reasons why the Lodge of Sorceresses was formed back in the books, which is a collection of the most powerful mages across the world. So people like Yennefer's part of it. So is Triss, another character that we've seen a lot of in the games. There's also Philippa Eilhart and Sheila de Tancerville, who are very preeminent, whatever characters. They're very important characters in The Witcher 2, and there's various others that we'll meet hopefully during this. And the Lodge of Sorceresses is, like I said, a collection of the most powerful mages who, a lot of them are consults, not consorts, to kings across the world, and they're the royal advisors of those kings. So they have their fingers in a lot of political and powerful pies. And they're not entirely trustworthy in those matters. The Lodge is very much about magic first, and the establishing it as the power it was sort of meant to be, so as the most powerful force across the world. And they very much have their own agendas, and those agendas aren't necessarily always the best for the wider population. So Geralt's relationship with them isn't always,
The infamous well.
what's the word?
Strange, no sign of a ghost.
Friendly.
Maybe it only
He doesn't
shows
he doesn't
reserved
really
for
trust
today.
many of them. Yennefer and Triss aside.
Grass
Sabrina
valley
Gleversig was also a member. The one that got burned at the stake by King Henselt that we were talking about
signs of burns.
whenever we were talking about that.
Signs point to a new wraith.
The Noonwraith. So a bit of backstory on Noonwraiths. Noonwraiths are the spectres of dead women, specifically younger women, who have been killed usually because of some sort of romantic crime. So maybe, just an example that isn't in the game, maybe a woman caught her husband cheating on her with another woman and killed herself because of it. That woman would, in the world of the Witcher, become a Noonwraith after death, because her sort of grief and passion led her to kill herself because of some sort of romantic scenario. And like the name would suggest, they only appear at noon. I'm not sure why that is. That must be some sort of Polish folklore coming into play here. But yeah, here's what they're weak to, which, similar to normal wraiths, the Erden and Wraith oil, Spectre oil even, are very effective here. Like the Noonwraiths in now, it's sort of spectral form where it goes all grey and wispy and weird. Erden stops that, and Spectre oil just does straight up more damage to the Wraith whenever you attack it. Another thing that makes Noonwraiths different to normal Wraiths is that they have this. When you do a lot of damage to them, they can split into three. And when they split into three, you'll want to kill all three of them as quickly as physically possible. They don't have much health, so just like swing at them until they're dead. Because if they're near you, if any one of the three is near you, they will start draining your health, and that drain will restore the Noonwraith's health. So while when you kill these three Noonwraiths, the damage you do to them is not damaging the main Wraith. If they siphon away your health, it will heal the main Noonwraith. So you want to kill them as quickly as physically possible. You might see a bit of that here. Apparently they only take one hit, so that's good. Yeah, you see the blood just shooting out Geralt, that is them draining his health.
She'll be back tomorrow. Something's keeping her here.
It is indeed. And there will always be some sort of object, something that was important to the Wraith that is tying them to the world and keeping them haunting the place where they died. So this is what this quest is about, really. First we have to find out what was haunting the well, which was a Noonwraith, and now we have to find out what is keeping it here so we can destroy it and then kill her. And send her on to wherever the fuck she's going after this. Because this sure isn't that nice.
Journal. Might be
Might
useful.
well be.
A man, stabbed with a knife, died on the spot. Animals fed on his body, picked his skeleton clean. More blood stains over there. But it's not his blood.
So there's more, you know, if you really concentrate and really take a second to sort of just step back and take a look at what's gone on around this area, you can, let's say you found the Noonwraith, done that fight I just did and it's disappeared. You step back, you look at the surroundings of the village. You see the village is entirely fucked. The roofs have caved in, they're charred, they're black. Clearly this village has been burned by someone. You can start to piece together bits of story about what might have happened here and what might have happened to the woman. You saw that a man had been stabbed, and he's had his body picked apart by animals. This suggests that what we know about the Noomwraith, maybe she killed him. Maybe, like I was talking about earlier, he was cheating with another woman, and she killed him. But then, why are all the buildings burned? So you can start piecing things together, and you can start trying to work out what's happened. And even if it turns out once you complete the quest that that's not what's happened, I really find the process of trying to work out what's gone on really enjoyable.
No body in sight, but might still find some tracks. Under the right conditions, bloodstains can remain visible for decades.
And I think that's a hint there that this happened a long, long time ago. Like you can kind of tell by the way that the
bloodstains,
the plant life,
almost faded,
and the way that nature's starting to, or has done for a while, starting to take control of the area again. You can see the grass and the undergrowth just completely encroaching on the village, wrapping itself around the buildings and just growing unregulated around the well. That little comment about how the blood can stay for decades under the right conditions, I think that hints that this happened a very long time ago, and no one's been there, which makes the conditions for the blood sticking around right.
Need to cremate the remains. Gotta find the object that binds her to this place before I do, though. Was she wearing the bracelet from her husband? Might be why her arm fell off. Gotta jump down there. Hope I don't break my legs.
Well, you could check if there was water there, if the camera would allow it, which it doesn't.
Wide pelvis. Need to cremate.
Not bad. We've seen this, so I'll just skip straight through it. Come on. Trying to angle it, but I just gave up and jumped straight down there. And here is the woman's bracelet. So all in all, it's not... Bear in mind, if you're affected negatively by this kind of thing, trying to piece together what happened here yourself might not be the best idea, because it will quickly lead you down a path of unhappiness, I guess. But if you're used to it, if you played a lot of things like this, if you consume a lot of fiction that is dark, then you should be good. If you're old enough to play games like this, you should hopefully be able to take what they throw at you in terms of emotional reaction. But it is quite grim. This is the new mechanic to The Witcher 3. You can swim, and you can swim underwater, which is nice. Swimming like horses in games is notoriously bad in terms of movement and just camera. Whenever you turn the camera, the way in which your swimming moves, and it can really fuck with just ease of movement. You'll find out when you play for yourself. It's not great, and no game has done it well that I can think of. Swimming's always been this really dodgy thing. But, you know, it's nice to have the option, and there are some interesting things to be found underwater.
Need to prepare. This fight. Brew some wraith oil. Drink some potions.
Thank you, Geralt. This crazy man talking to himself. But yes, as he suggests, brew some potions, make some oil. Make some potions, brew some oil. Whatever he said. Do that. It's helpful. Lovely. Is that a child? Probably. So this is another part of the village that's been fucked over by someone. Clearly someone had quite a grudge against this fucking village. But we will find out more about that in episode 6. Because, my friends, today it is the end. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good one.